Snagit for Lectora is a screen capture tool, but beyond capturing your screen, Snagit has a great editor that's designed for screen captures. In a few other videos, we've looked at individual features like hotspots, stamps, and callouts, but let's look at some of the core editing features Snagit Editor has to offer. To start out, let's think of some things we might want to do with a screenshot. Well, to start, sometimes you need to point something out so that it's clear to others what you want them to see. Sometimes you need to delete, remove, or hide something, like a telephone number or sensitive information. And finally, you might just want to have your screen capture look more attractive. You know, give it some style. So with these three goals in mind, let's see what Snagit Editor can do. First, let's look at the tools we have to point something out. There are a few of these, and probably the most common are the drawing tools. The arrow tool makes it pretty easy to draw arrows on a capture, and there are lots of styles to choose from. You can customize any of these arrows using the Outline and Effects option. You can click or hover over an arrow, and a small box with options appears. From here, you can change the style of the arrow. And one of the options I tend to use a lot is the curvy style. This lets you twist and curve the arrow to fit around things. It works the same with the line tool as well. And the shape tool lets you draw squares and circles to match your arrows. If you want a fancier look, the callouts let you draw a shape and add text. Again, I have my personal favorites, like the glassy balloon callout and the POW styles. Once you pick a style, all you need to do is click and drag your mouse to draw the callout on your capture. By default, the callout lets you start typing text. If you need to edit the text, just double-click the callout and you can change the text or reformat it. So, these are the basic tools for pointing something out. But real quick, I want to show you one more, the Spotlight and Magnify effect. It's on the Image tab, in the Modify section, and it's an interesting way to focus people's attention while leaving everything in context. To apply it, select an area you want to spotlight and then click the Spotlight and Magnify button. You can change some of the options to get the look you want, and when you're done, click the Close button. Well, let's move on to our next editing category, deleting and obscuring sensitive information. If I have a phone number or email address I don't want to include in my screenshot, I like to blur it out. All I need to do is select the area I want to blur and then click the Blur button. As you can see, there are different levels of blur, so just pick the percentage that works for you. Now, another useful tool in Snagit is the Cutout tool. Take this capture for example. It's really long. What if I wanted to show something at the top of the capture and at the bottom? The Cutout tool lets you do this and makes it look like you've ripped a section out of the page. The easiest way to use the Cutout tool is to click the Cutout button and select the style of cutout you want. Then just select the area you want to cut out of the capture. Snagit removes the section and moves the two halves closer together with a nice edge effect added. Now honestly, these are the fancy effects available with Snagit. Sometimes it's easier just to select the section of the capture you want removed and press the Delete key on your keyboard, which will remove the section. Also, you can easily crop the image by moving the handles in or on the sides. But I thought I would show you the fun stuff first. So, the last thing we'll look at is how to add some effects to Snagit. There are some simple things you can do to make a capture look a little more interesting. You can easily add a drop shadow to an image from the Style Gallery or an edge effect like the torn edge or fade. There are a bunch of styles you can play with here, and you can create your own using the border, effects, and edge options. One other way you can stylize your capture is with the color effects and filters. There's a lot here, so play around with them. Just remember, a little goes a long way.